if you're not educated and you get educated across the world, your incomes will increase, your worldview would improve, and your future earning power essentially goes up. So for education, you don't play with it. Like it's really going to be something that you can do and you can improve your skill at any level. So this is a great topic for us to have today, just to talk around education, how we can fund it, local foreign education. And we've got great guests here today, QS, that's going to help us navigate this topic, right? So we're going to wait. QS is a co-host. It's going to add the folks that are going to talk to us today. I'm going to try to do this as well. And then we're just going to start, right? And see how this would play into even the tax conversations Nigerians are having. Nigerians are waking up in 2027 or 2026 and understanding that they've got to start to pay taxes, right? There is going to be lots of taxes that are going to be paid on incomes that are going to be earned. There are also lots of deductions that are going to be available to Nigerian families. So the question we want to ask ourselves is, if you want to go abroad to study, which is very legitimate, how can you structure your balance sheet, your incomes, and also your tax setup so you can still afford to go and see there's any benefits that you can get? Who can partner with you in this regard, essentially, that allow you to then, get this done? That's essentially what we want to do. So, QS, I'm going to rely on you to add your folks, QS, right, as speakers. Fantastic. And then we'll just sort of get the topic going. But I just want to just lay out, as it were, a bit of financial planning around education for those that are listening. So if you've been a regular guest on our show, we've been talking around how you can use the structures Nigeria has presently to plan out your future, right? How can you write out your assets, your liabilities, your income and expenses in such a manner that you can specify a target investment or a target savings sum? I had advocated using your retirement savings account, even your insurance amount that you have in your insurance or that you're paying for insurance, as a way to do target savings. So what is target savings? You have a daughter, you have children, you have words, you want them to go to Harvard in, say, 15 years. How can you save today that in 15 years you've got those funds available to fund that interaction? That's what today. A good way you can do that in Nigeria today is not to write a will, which can be challenged and all that kind of stuff. Is to try to write a trust agreement, right? So you go to a lawyer, you draw up a trust, and you say, I am the grantor of this trust, which means I'm the maker, I'm the one making the trust. This trust means that my assets are no longer owned by myself, they're now owned by the trust. I'll be a trustee, I would enjoy the proceeds of this trust as I'm alive. Should I pass away, I want the total funds in my trust to go towards the education of my kids. You write in there. And it's also testamentary, which means even if you're not there, they have to follow what's in the trust. To go to the education of my kids, when my kids are educated, give them a salary, and there's any money left over, take that money, give to my favorite charity. You can give it to Chelsea or Arsenal Football Club, but you're writing something that you're not there and will be obeyed. You're going to have trustees. This can be individual trustees like your friend, but I prefer corporate trustees because corporates, you don't know them in quotes, but they're going to carry out your authority even when you're not there. So you then look for an asset that you're going to put in that trust, and that asset is going to fund your education of those kids. So if I have two or three kids, for instance, right, I could say, hey, I'm going to do a trust. These kids are going to be taken care of in the trust. If I pass away, my assets go to my trust, and my trust pays for the education of these kids. You can even put a life insurance policy. You can buy a life insurance policy, and you can make your trust the beneficiary of your life policy, not you, the trust. Anything happens to you, the insurance company pays the trust. The trust then uses your life policy to then educate your kids. It's a very simple way of doing this. Why a trust? Because it's not going to go through probate. It's no longer your money, so it's not going to go through probate. It's already identified the beneficiaries, right? It's easier to do. It's less. You can't easily go and challenge a trust in court. So you can't have your neighbor, your brothers, to come to say, "Oh, I want to challenge this will," because it's a trust, right? It's a legal document set up. You were alive when you did it and all that. Very, very simple, easy way for you to manage that transition process. So look at the tax laws that have been passed now, right? What can we use to accomplish this trust? If you look at the tax laws, they are saying that if you contribute money to your retirement savings account, that retirement savings account is any contributions you make are tax exempt. So now let's bring it back to today. I want to send my daughter to Harvard in 15 years. She was just born today. What do? I go to a finance guy. The finance guy tells me, listen, to send your daughter to Harvard in 15 years is going to cost you 20 million naira every year or today, whatever number he gives me. So what do? I go to my RSA, my PFA company, and I open up a retirement savings account. And I make additional voluntary contributions to that account. When I make those contributions, they are in the account. I can take them out after 5 years, tax-free, 5 years. But if anything happens to me, the retirement savings account is going to be paid to my trust. So my trust is my beneficiary. They pay to my trust, and my trust then educates my kid in university. Simple. So use your RSA to accumulate funds, and the funds go to your trust. If you're alive, that's fine. You take the money and you educate your daughter. But if you're not alive, the trust does that. So this is where we want to just introduce this whole topic of education as a long-term asset. We've got to look at education, only asset that is guaranteed a return. So fantastic. We've got the QS folks in here, right? So we're going to add, who's going to start? Who's going to start with? I've got Mrs. P. She's going to start and just sort of walk us through what is QS and what you guys do. And yeah, Ms. P, how you doing? You want to introduce yourself? Hello? Oh, she's just dropped off. Okay. Okay, I'm going to add you right back. So essentially, we've got QS guys here, and I hope let me just make sure I have them all set up here. Doje, a psychologist, counselor, passionate humanitarian writer, food enthusiast. I like that. Love to sing. Go ahead, ma'am. What's up?
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for having my colleagues as well. So I'm Pauline, as you've rightly said. So please pardon me. This profile is a bit old. I haven't been on X in a very long minute, so I'm even surprised to hear about myself. But I'm currently an enrollment manager at QS Apply. So I'm a counselor, basically, in everything that relates to international student recruitment at QS Student Apply. So that's basically who I am. And again, thanks for having me.
Yeah, the man is asking, what is QS? What is do? Right, you mind just asking that question?
Okay, so good luck trying to pronounce everything in full. Yeah, but globally, QS would most likely come up. So you would see it as QS World Rankings. Now, because of the relationship that we've built with institutions globally, we've gone from not just putting them with data, we've now transitioned or